If I stay, then I lose myself. If I leave, then I lose you. If I wait, it'll never be me. But if I move on, it'll never be you. So what should I do? Make a left where there's nothing right? Or make a right where there's nothing left?
I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you can walk away from it, it's yours forever. The moment you don't need something, it loses the ability to control you. Most people end up losing things because they cling to it too tightly. They negotiate their standards, they tolerate disrespect, and they stay longer than they should because fear convinces them that walking away means losing. But real ownership isn't external, it's internal. If you can walk away from a job, you chose it. If you can walk away from a relationship, you stayed out of desire, not dependence. If you can walk away from validation, your worth isn't up for rent. Beneath the surface, when you're attached to something, your nervous system is in threat mode. Fear of loss keeps stress circuits active. You overthink, you stress, you chase, you compromise. Your behavior becomes reactive because your brain believes survival is tied to the outcome. When you can walk away, that fear shuts off. Your thinking clears and you stop overreacting and you start choosing. Nothing has leverage over you because your nervous system isn't being held hostage. That's why detachment always feels calm. It's not apathy, it's regulation. And regulated people are dangerous because they can't be manipulated. Anything that you can't walk away from already owns you. It dictates your decisions, it controls your peace. Walking away doesn't mean you lose it. It means you were never trapped by it. And once that fear is gone, nothing can be taken from you because you were never dependent on it to begin with. A healthy mind is a healthy life. Now follow me for more content.
Please understand that it is a literal blessing that you can't understand why certain people do the things that they do to you. You could sit there all day trying to figure it out, trying to ask yourself, why'd they lie to me? Why'd they betray me? Why'd they go behind my back? Why'd they disrespect me? Why'd they treat me like a doormat? But at the end of the day, you will never be able to figure it out because you never do that to someone else. You would never treat someone else like that, and that shows your character. What other people do is a reflection of them, not of yourself. And you'll never be able to figure out why they do those things because you can't fathom it. And that is a blessing. So try not to waste your energy on figuring out why people do certain things they do to you, because you would never do it to someone else.
The highest form of emotional intelligence is knowing when you should walk away. We call it discernment, and it's the part of wisdom that keeps empathy from becoming your enemy, right? You're probably already good at reading people, understanding where their pain comes from, seeing the wounds beneath their worst behaviors. Empathy, right? That's a gift, and it means your heart works exactly how it should. But here's the boundary that separates intelligence from self-abandonment. Understanding someone's hurt doesn't mean you're required to stay and also endure that with them. Empathy without discernment becomes a trap where you sacrifice your own peace to save people who weren't even asking to be saved. You can see why someone lashes out and still choose not to stand in the line of fire. You can understand their story and still protect your own. When you constantly explain yourself, justify your boundaries, or tolerate harm because you see the reason behind it, that's not emotional intelligence anymore. That's you abandoning yourself for someone else's comfort.
Some of you may need to listen to this twice. I don't walk away from people to punish them. I walk away because I learned my lesson. See, there comes a moment in life where and when you finally understand something. You can either keep shrinking your standards or you can protect your peace. And I made my decision. I would rather adjust my life to someone's absence than adjust my boundaries to someone's disrespect. And it's not anger, it's wisdom. You see, when I was a young cat, I heard a simple truth that bad company ruins good character. I didn't understand it then, but life has a way of teaching you what words can't. Some people bring growth and some people bring stress. And once you understand and know the difference, you cannot unsee it. So when I step away from certain people, I'm not losing nothing. I am making room. I'm making room for peace. I am making room for healthy relationships. I am making room for what God actually has for me. Because when you know your worth and your value, Letting go is not the end. It's actually the beginning of something greater and better. And if this message speaks to you, protect your peace and keep growing.
Respect yourself enough to walk away from the disrespect, right? I'm going to say it one more time for y'all, man. Respect yourself enough, brother and sister, to walk away from the disrespect, right? Because when you stay somewhere that you're not valued, you lowering your standards off rip, right? When you walk away, it shows strength. It shows self-respect that you have for yourself, man. So respect yourself enough to walk away from the disrespect, whether it's a relationship, whether it's jobs, whether it's just out here in this world. Don't let people get you out of character. You know your self-worth, and respect yourself to not put yourself in a disrespectful situation, all right, man? Like I said, I'm no motivational speaker at all. I'm just trying to help a brother out or a sister out every single day, man. Y'all have a good one.
I don't care what nobody say. The greatest flex when somebody plays in your face is to move on with your life, to be better, to look better, to feel better, to invest in yourself so much that they no longer matter. That the worst thing you can ever let a person do is come into your life, and when they leave, you feel as if you are nothing because they are gone. But what if I told you that you are always yours before you were ever anyone else's? That I don't need you to stay in your bed crying your eyes out, losing who you are, wasting time on somebody who's already forgotten about you. But instead, I need you to get into your bag. Instead, I need you to stop feeling bad for yourself, feeling sorry for yourself. You can't control what nobody else do. You gave it all you could. And just because it didn't work out with them doesn't mean that the Lord won't make it work for somebody else. But remember this, you come first. So pour into you.
Learn to be done with people. Not mad, not bothered, just done. That kind of done doesn't slam doors. It doesn't make announcements. It doesn't explain itself over and over again. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's when you finally stop trying to be understood by someone who already decided not to listen. You're not angry anymore because anger takes energy. And you've learned how expensive your energy is. You don't replay conversations in your head. You don't wait for apologies. You don't hope they'll suddenly become different. You just accept what is, and you choose yourself anyway. Being done doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop begging for bare minimum behavior. You stop reaching, you stop overgiving, you stop shrinking just to keep the peace. And the wild part is nothing dramatic happens. Your nervous system settles, your sleep gets better, your life gets quieter. That's how you know it's real. Not loud, not messy, just done. If this hit you, sit with it for a second. Sometimes being done is the beginning of peace.
A person who can walk away without needing closure is a powerful person because they don't need a final conversation or a carefully worded excuse to justify moving on. They don't want your apology or your bullshit explanation, and they definitely don't need you to validate what they already know. They saw what they needed to see. They accepted it and they moved on with their life because they know that closure isn't something that someone else hands to you. It's something that you can only give to yourself. And that's what makes them so powerful because they refuse to hand their peace to someone who's already hurt them.
These are the lessons in life that takes you a while to learn and understand. And the reason that I state this is because a lot of people be caught up in their emotions instead of just letting go. But the stronger you are, the better off you'll be when you let go. And what I'm stating is that millions are starting to walk away from everything. And the reason why is because you become more powerful when you're able to let go. Just think about it. With any situation, and I know a lot of people like to argue their point about situations, friendships, relationships, or working at your job, right? This is what I want to explain. I done seen situations in life, relationships, friendships, and just working, right? And the sad thing is that we hold on to a lot of these things is because I'm going to tell you the main answer. We always think that situations and friendships will get better. But in reality, it's like some of them, they'll get better. But let me know how many times y'all dealt with a situation and it's gotten better. In reality, it seems like situations always tend to get worse when you hold on to them. You could be working at your job for 10 plus years, 15 plus years, right? Hoping that your job situation is going to change. You might be dealing with terrible management or supervisor that's always on your back, and it's always an issue. No matter what you do, it's never right considered to the upper management or the situations that you're in. Your job, your friendship, relationship, because you want to hold on. And this is where it gets confusing to me. I don't understand this. Let me know how many times y'all heard this. Well, you don't want to give up on situations or anything in life because you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to hold on. Things have its ups and downs. That's true. A lot of people state that, but a lot of people be in fear about letting something go that has up and downs. And then before you look up and realize it, which a lot of people aren't aware of, that's a lot of time that's wasted. You can't let nobody or no situation mess with your time because a lot of people overlook time, which is the most important currency. Don't allow nothing to waste your time and be around you because it's not good for you. It's going to take an emotional toll on you. But let me get back to what I was discussing. If y'all didn't realize what I was saying, the key words, we're supposed to hold on. You're supposed to stay strong. But to me, holding on to a situation that's not good for you, it's insanity. And a lot of people don't know they're going through that or dealing with that because they so caught up on what you're supposed to do. That's the crazy part about living this life. We do things based off what you're supposed to do instead of what it actually is. And that's why a lot of people go wrong. They may have messed up career situations, opportunities in their life because they was trying to hold on to situations thinking it's going to get better, thinking that they're going to change the mind of some people. Just thinking that they could change people. But in reality, you can't change people and situations because it's going to be a lot of people and their emotions. That's why sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation And it doesn't make you a weak person when you remove yourself from the situation. That means you're evolving. You're supposed to grow in life. But a lot of things that people don't overcome is that ego, that emotion, and how things supposed to go. And that's what's going to keep a lot of people stuck in life. Because you keep being worried about how it's supposed to go. How your friendship's supposed to go. Your work situation's supposed to go. Everything in your life's supposed to go. But as you can see, once you start to live your life and reality shows you different, why not just go with reality? You can still have your destination, but it's more than one way to your destination. Find another way. And that's where things become cloudy for most people. They hold on to situations that's not worth holding on to. And then they look at what society label you as. You're supposed to be at this point at your life. You're supposed to be at that point at your life. But sometimes that's not necessarily the case. So it's like you stress yourself out about worrying about what's supposed to be instead of living what actually is. And a lot of people don't learn this until they get older. You know why? Because a lot of people are hard-headed. They're naive. They don't believe anything. I used to be like this too. Want to debate all the time. I always want to have the right answer. But when you learn to let go and start to just live for you, putting up a battle with everything, your life is going to go a lot smoother. Just think about it. Say if you get into trouble at your job, it's a situation at your job, and you know that upper management done something wrong as an employee. You got a lot of employees that'll be like, well, I'm going to fight this every chance I get. I'm going to fight that every chance I get. But in reality, what if it's always a constant problem at the problem, right? So what you going to do? You going to try to fight every problem that comes your way? Or you just going to be like, maybe I need to just walk away from the situation. Find another job. Quit your job. Or do whatever. It's like if you had a constant battle all the time and you're dependent all the time, not just in jobs general, at any situation. That's a weakness because you're dependent on it. So if something don't go right because you're dependent on it, and then you know that it's not fair. You know what's going on. You can see it, but they playing like they not doing it, but they doing it. You know this. If you try to constantly dispute things all the time, and you know that everybody on the other side of management, they all cool with each other. So all your claims is just getting nowhere. So in reality, the best thing to do is just find another job. If you always feel like it's a constant battle all the time, move on. A lot of people be scared to just move on. I guess a lot of fear appears in people's mind when they think about moving on. But sometimes that may be the best decision for you. Instead of just constantly living in fear, worrying about things that you can't change. And it took me a while to learn it. But I'm happy I learned it. And that's the key to learning it. Evolving, staying strong, and be strong enough to move on. Just think about it. You got people who back and forth in relationships and they've been dealing with the same person since they was 21, 20, right? Some people date a long time or be cool with somebody a long time or whatever. They turn 40, 45, become single after 20 plus years. But in reality, their explanation for it was, well, you got to try to make things work. Even though the situation was rocky in each and every way, why do you still continue to try to make a rocky situation work? If it's not just smooth, now situations or anything you're dealing with do have their ups and downs, but you got to learn how to interpret, do the math. Is it having too many ups and downs? Now, up and down every now and then, that's okay. But when it's like every other month or it's always something, it's time for you to just be strong enough to let go. Because it shouldn't be on and off. If something that's on, it should just steady be on and be off just a little bit. Not no on and off all the time. It's like you going back and forth with situations and you wasting time. So in reality, you have to be strong enough and observant to put your time in the right places. And that's where a lot of people struggle with and they don't learn until it's the last minute. And that's my take on this situation. Let me know, have y'all experienced this before or a situation or anything? Leave it in the comments. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.